Recessions don't destroy wealth, they just transfer it. Every single economic downturn, every single time, follows the exact same pattern. You have one group of people who panic, they cut back on everything, they get scared, and they ultimately fall behind. Then you have another group. They prepare quietly, they stay calm, and they come out of that same recession richer, more secure, and with more control over their lives than ever before. So the real question isn't whether a recession is coming or not. It asks whether you are going to be positioned on the right side of that transfer when it happens. Most people prepare for recessions emotionally. They react to headlines, they get swept up in the fear, and they make decisions based on panic. Smart people, on the other hand, prepare structurally. They don't wait for the bad news to hit the front page. They spend their time building systems that make any downturn not just survivable, but potentially profitable. Because here's a crucial truth. Recessions don't punish everyone equally. They punish fragility. They punish the systems and the lifestyles that were built on shaky ground. The very first thing a recession exposes is something called lifestyle inflation. You know what I mean? Your income goes up by 1,000 and your expenses magically go up by 1,000 too. If your spending always rises to meet your income, you're actively building a fragile life, whether you realize it or not, and fragile systems always break under pressure. Think about it. People who live right at the edge of their income, with no buffer, they feel every single economic shock immediately. It's an instant crisis, but people who have built in some margin, they might feel a little inconvenience, but it's not a full-blown emergency. So the first and most important step in preparing for any recession is simple. Create financial breathing room. Build a gap between what you earn and what you spend. The goal here isn't just to feel safe or comfortable. The goal is to stay flexible, to have options when everyone else is being forced into making bad, desperate decisions. That margin is your power. The second major shift is understanding the difference between cash flow and status. In good times, when the economy is booming, people get obsessed with chasing impressive-sounding income figures. High salaries, big bonuses, flashy numbers. But in bad times, only one thing truly matters: consistency. Stable, boring, reliable streams of income will always outperform flashy, volatile ones during a downturn. This is exactly why recessions tend to reward a few specific things. They reward essential industries, the things people need no matter what. They reward problem-solving skills, the ability to fix things and add real value. And they reward people who can generate that value regardless of what the overall economy is doing. If your income depends entirely on hype, on the latest trends, or on general optimism, a recession is going to expose that vulnerability very, very quickly. You want to anchor yourself to real, undeniable value. The third pillar of preparation is liquidity. This one is huge. Opportunities don't just magically appear out of thin air during a recession. They appear for the people who still have cash on hand when everyone else has run out. Think about what happens. Assets get cheaper. Businesses get desperate to make sales. The stock market overreacts and sells off perfectly good companies at a discount. But if all of your money is tied up in things you can't easily sell, you can only watch these opportunities from the sidelines. You become a spectator instead of a player. Having cash, having liquidity, is not wasted money. It's not losing to inflation in the short term. It is strategic patience. It's your ticket to play the game when the best deals are on the table. Now, the fourth and final shift is psychological. It might be the most important one of all. Recessions are incredibly emotional environments. Fear spreads way faster than facts ever will. You'll see it everywhere. People start making decisions purely to stop the immediate pain of seeing their accounts go down, not to create any long-term gains. The financially prepared, the structurally sound, do the exact opposite. They have a different playbook. They buy when others are being forced to sell. They invest when overall market sentiment is at its absolute lowest. They focus on the fundamentals of a business or an asset, not the scary headlines. Because recessions don't just test your finances. They test your discipline. They test your ability to think clearly when everyone around you is losing their minds. And here's the truth that most people don't really want to hear. The biggest opportunities in life, The moments that can truly change your financial future, they rarely come during stable, predictable, boring times. They come when prices drop dramatically. They come when your competition disappears because they weren't prepared. They come when all the weak players are forced to exit the market. Recessions clear space. They reset the playing field. And that cleared space is exactly where new wealth is built and expands. But this is the key to everything. This only works if you enter the downturn with a few things already in place. You need low, unnecessary expenses. You need reliable, consistent income streams. You need liquidity, that cash on hand. And you need emotional control. Without those 4 things, a recession feels like a destructive storm you just have to survive. With them, it starts to feel like a massive discount season, a once-in-a-decade sale where everything you've ever wanted to own is suddenly affordable. Recessions aren't fair. They don't care about your feelings. They reward preparation, not just effort. You can have 2 people who work equally hard, put in the same hours, and have the same intentions. After a downturn, they can end up in completely different financial worlds. The difference isn't their work ethic. The difference is their structure. It's the system they built before the storm hit. If you prepare now and things are relatively calm, a future recession becomes a massive opportunity. If you wait until the headlines are screaming and everyone is panicking, it becomes a terrifying threat. The best time to prepare for a recession is long before anyone is even talking about one. Thanks for watching. If this changed how you think about downturns, make sure to subscribe for more.